Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Opinion Machine, the show where we talk about all things gaming. My name is Killjoy, and today I want to talk about my boycotting, and specifically what I'm going to do going forward. Now, if you don't know, I did a video a little while back talking about how I basically was boycotting certain companies, and certain companies were very close to that line as well. So mainly it was EA, Rockstar and Activision. For various different reasons. EA mainly because they haven't put out anything good in a while in terms of, you know, all the games had microtransactions and loot boxes, and a lot of their games were subpar, and stuff they were bringing to Switch wasn't very good. So I was like, you know what, I'm not buying their games, I don't want to support them anymore. And EA is kind of what I want to talk about today specifically, but the other companies, I said Rockstar, they had a lot of crap going on with their, during the making of Red Dead and GTA 5 and stuff like that. And Activision, because I think Activision are just as scummy as EA in a lot of ways. And they had the whole layoffs, and they had all this other stuff, and I haven't bought an Activision game since, I think, Crash Trilogy was the last time I bought something by them as well. And then there was WB Games and 2K/Gearbox, where they were very borderline. I was like, well, you know, we'll see how this goes. 2K, to be honest, I hate that company. They're just as bad as EA and Activision. Gearbox, I mean, they've had nothing but bad press because of Randy. And WB Games are also famous for sticking in microtransactions and loot boxes and somehow getting a pass for a lot of the time. But all these companies I mentioned, I'm really unsure about. But what I want to talk about today is about what I'm going to do going forward. And the reason for this change is because in very soon, Command & Conquer Remastered is coming out. I believe it's out June 5th. Now, this is a game I watched the trailer for, and I was like, wow, this looks like a really good remaster by a lot of the original people, or a lot of people that worked on these games, plus this other company who I can't think of right now. So you had Petroglyph, who are pretty much all Old Westwood guys. Then you've got this other company that's helping, and then EA, I think, had quite hands-off about it, stamped their mark on it. And I'm like, oh man, I love Command & Conquer. And, you know, so far I've played 2 remasters this year that just weren't great. Commandos 2 HD, and I didn't play Warcraft, sorry, I played Commandos 2 HD. I saw all the stuff with Warcraft, I've spoken to a lot of people, and both those games came out in terrible states, and I don't think either have really been that much fixed. I think they come out in poor states, and they could have done a much better job, and they were really piss-poor versions of what a remaster should be. However, when I watched the trailer for Command & Conquer Remastered, the fact that you're getting really nice everything's been upscaled, so graphically it is very clean, which is nice. But on top of that, you're getting a lot of content for your money. You're getting the original Command & Conquer, the expansion, the console-only missions, Red Alert, both expansions for that, the Ant campaign, so tons of campaign missions, and the console-exclusive missions for that, I believe, as well. I think that's how that's working. You're getting a remastered soundtrack. You've got the classic soundtrack in there. You've got live stuff by Frank Klepacki's band. You've now got skirmish mode in the original Command & Conquer. The stuff apparently all works online. So everything I've seen gives me really good hope for what this is a good example of what a remaster should be. It's not just like making the graphics look nicer. No, they've got extras in there. They've got the movies. They've got the music. They've probably got art galleries. All this extra content. You know, nothing too crazy, but a really good reason, and all for a fairly good price of about 20 quid. You know, nice, decent, and that's a lot of content. Yeah, okay, I would have liked them to go back and redone maybe some of the AI and stuff, but that's probably asking a bit much for a remaster. Now, this clearly has effort put into it. So, after the reaction, and I said this in my video, you know, I might not be able to do it because of my boycott, but because that video blew up so big on the channel, I've decided to change how I'm going to boycott games going forward. And that's not to say I'm going to suddenly just put it all to the wayside. I'm going to go on a game-by-game basis, and I'm going to do more of a... if it's a game that I'm interested in, like Command & Conquer Remastered, if I buy it, and it is awful, because I can get it on Steam, and this is primarily going to be more to do with Steam than anything else, because I can refund games. If I buy it on Steam, and within the first hour, I'm like, wow, this is awful, I'm straight up refunding it. And I'm going to make a video saying why it's awful, and why you shouldn't buy it. And I'll be like, you know what, I still can't trust EA. That's one side of it. However, if it is good, I can say, you know what, buy this game, because the more they see people buying this Command & Conquer Remaster, the more likely we get the other games remastered, the more likely we get a new Command & Conquer game. And that's kind of my dilemma, because I do love this series. I want to see more of it. And especially if they can get Petroglyph and this other company, whoever's done more of the work here, to work on a new Command & Conquer game, that'd be awesome. But it's going to be a game-by-game basis. Activision are probably the one company I don't want to give money to, full stop. I'm just so sick of hearing about the things they've done. And they've got Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 coming out at the end of the year, which I would love to play. And that is a game where I'm like, you know what, I'm going to wait on that one. That game specifically, because that's going to do well. I'm going to wait on that. I'm going to see what people think of it, and then maybe end of that year or beginning of next year, then maybe I'll touch it, depending on how it goes. But this isn't to say that I'm going to start playing everything these companies bring out, because I'm not. I'm not interested in most of the stuff these guys bring out. And because I'm in a position now where people will actually watch some of the, you know, people are watching this content and they want to see my views and opinions on, you know, remasters and, you know, certain games and stuff. I think it's really important that I'm in a position where it's like, okay, I can afford to buy this game, I can let people know, and I'm going to test it with this one, and we're going to see how Command & Conquer Remastered goes, and we'll go from there. If it doesn't work, I'm quite happy to take a step back and say, you know what, I'm still not going to buy these games for these people. You know, WB, Gearbox, 2K, like 2K I'm definitely not going to buy much. By Gearbox, it really depends with what they do with Borderlands and things like that. But, you know, they're very close to crossing that line. Rockstar, I'm probably never going to buy anything by them again. I just don't enjoy their games. But I just have no interest in supporting a lot of these companies. And, you know, EA and Activision, you know, have been pretty shit of late. And for a number of years now. I'm sure I'm missing off some companies off this list that I can't think of right now that are just as bad. But, you know. But this is what this video is, just to update you guys to say, hey, look, I am going to be doing this with Command & Conquer Remastered. I'm going to be playing it. I'm going to be making a video on it. Hopefully, you're going to get to see me and Don Hayes play some games. That's going to be pretty cool. But if the game turns out to be utter trash, then I will be refunding it, and I will be saying, do not buy this game, if it turns out to be a terrible remaster. So, this is what this video is about, is to let you guys know that that is what's going to be happening when that game comes out. I am going to be buying it, I am going to be doing it, and if that works, then it will be game-by-game basis. You know, EA apparently did pretty well with Jedi Fallen Order, not so well with Anthem, but people like Jedi Fallen Order. Let's see. You know, a lot of the time they are just publishing these games, but let's see if Petroglyph and this other company, who I really should look up, can put out a good product. And maybe then we can start looking at more EA stuff on the channel. Old EA stuff, I'm talking way back when I bought it, before I started boycotting. And, you know, we'll do that. But right now, we'll see. But it's a short video today, guys. Thank you very much for watching and listening to this. If you like the video, hit like, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Actually, if you are interested in what I have to say on this, comment down below and say, look, you know, you're interested in seeing what I think of this remaster or whatever. And also follow us on Facebook and Twitter. The link's down below as always, trying to make more of a community there too. And until next video, I will see you then.